Hey guys, welcome to Finally Clicked, the podcast where we discuss business, leadership, and personal development. My name is Margaret Smith, and I'm the Director of Operations for Pickett Street Properties, a real estate team out of Bothell, Washington. And I'll be here every week with our owner and team leader, Jesse D. Moore. We'll be digging into concepts and ideas that have helped us both personally and professionally, and you'll also get a chance to hear from local and national experts that we know provide massive value to get to the point where it all finally clicks. Hello, Finally Clickers. Welcome to another episode of Finally Clicked. Today, I'm here with Jesse D. Moore and with my rosé on cubes, as I call it. And
welcome to another COVID-19 edition, where
I forgot that. This is week six.
Where we feign enthusiasm and act like we're not bored by this whole thing. Goodness, I can't even drink wine. I'm just drinking water. That's how boring COVID-19 is right now.
Are you feeling like the feeling of boredom?
Oh my gosh, I'm over this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling you I was out and about yesterday doing essential duties, quote unquote essential, which I really try not to leave the house unless I have to.
Yeah.
And it was so nice to drive around.
It was a beautiful day too.
Yeah. So now I feel a little trapped today. I can feel it in my shoulders and in my neck.
Yeah. How was your workout today?
It's done. 16 days in a row.
What are you doing? What's your routine?
Get out of bed and go to the garage.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, sometimes I take half an hour and check email and check in on things.
Yeah.
And kind of wake up but I just make myself work out before I get ready for the day. And I do cardio for 15 to 20 minutes and then just push-ups, sit-ups, squats, obliques, stuff like that.
Stuff like that. You're beating me out. I'm not getting my workout in, so I got to work that back into my schedule this weekend.
Yoga?
Yeah, but man, so if folks don't know Chelsea Rose with Wildwood Studios in Granite Falls, she's a friend of ours, and this girl, it's not like she does relaxing yoga, but a lot of the time it's freaking, what does she call it? It's like yoga sculpt. And so, it's not easy yoga. You're like freaking, your legs up in the air and you're doing it like pulsing like 20 times. You do that 3 times. By the end of it, I'm like, this isn't the yoga that I'm used to. This is like serious yoga, but it's really good.
You want relaxing yoga?
I think I need some YouTube yoga that's just really stretching.
Yeah. Hey, Chelsea, can you develop a program where I just feel slightly better about myself for having done something, but not so hard that I feel sore?
Yes.
Is that basically what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, could you just calm it down a little bit? Could you not be quite as in shape? I mean, I really can't dictate someone else's health and fitness.
Well, there's a plethora of online classes and training available. That's one thing that's definitely come out of this.
There's a lot. Yeah.
What do you want to talk about today, Margaret?
Well, I think we should talk first about this competitive offer situations that you've encountered a couple times and how that could be helpful to some of our listeners, because I think it's extremely relevant and you have some good stories.
Yeah, so I sat in on a webinar led by Pat Stone, who's the CEO of
Love that guy.
WFG Title. And for those that don't know, Pat Stone, he's a very wealthy man, a very smart man.
He's also really nice. Like,
he is very nice.
Yeah.
He's from Williston, North Dakota, which is about 3 hours from where I grew up. And he has many businesses, many investments, and he always does an economic forecast for the year. or up to. But with this whole shakeup, he decided to do another one about the effect of stay-at-home orders and the effect on the economy and some things to be looking forward to. And this is something I learned from the last downturn. During the last recession, or towards the end of it, I realized that that economists can predict the future to a pretty high degree,
Hmm.
and it makes sense to pay attention to them because
Yeah.
they called the housing crisis before it happened, and that would have been good to know, right? So
Yeah.
I pay attention to him, and I try to take at least one thing out of that I can share with my clients, share with the team. And the main thing that I took out of it was we're going to see GDP go down quarter one, quarter two of 2020, and then it should surge in quarter three. And what that means really is um, when we get back to work, it's going to be extremely busy and frantic and um,
Which we've kind of been preparing for even before you heard this, like with the people you have in your pipeline right now and the great conversations we're having with people on the phone, people are ready for when it's time, which is nice to see.
yeah. And so I want to take that information and then say, okay, what does this mean for our clients? And really what I kind of figured out is now is a great time for move up buyers, or move down buyers, people that have a house to sell and
Mhm.
want to buy their next property.
Yeah.
And there's a little thing called a contingent offer that has not been very popular for the past 10 years. And that's because, especially in our market, it's a very competitive market.
That
And
whole 10 years, you think it hasn't, I guess we haven't done a whole lot, even in different seasons that I've seen.
no, very few contingent offers because they weren't readily accepted. Because you put a house on the market, it sells in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Sellers have no incentive for accepting a contingent offer. So in the good old days, pre-corona, you would have to
Well,
sell your house. You'd have to list your house, sell it, and then operate on good faith that you would find a home you could live with,
Mhm.
um, so that you wouldn't have to move twice or whatever the case may be. And really, what has happened because of this is sellers are open to contingent offers because it's not a normal market and we're not having open houses and you're not having high traffic showings. And so because of that, sellers are a little more inclined to accept a contingent offer. Plus, what do we have to do but wait, right? Like
Yeah.
the whole world is on pause a little bit. And so it's a really good time. I figured out through that webinar, it's just a really good time to make contingent offers. And we've been helping clients do this recently. And I realized there's a method to that madness that I thought I should talk about. Um, and to explain it, like Margaret, let's say you found a fourplex you wanted to buy,
I mean, this isn't totally out of the picture, so this
right?
is real life.
But let's say it's a fourplex, great price, but it's also in close proximity to your parents. And so
Is there a view of the mountains?
there's a view of the mountains.
Done. I'm in.
It's next to a
Thai, Thai restaurant.
it's next to like a hype house filled with young men who like work out in the
I'm
yard,
in. How
right?
much? When do I make the offer?
And so this is my point though, but you only want this house, right?
Yeah,
Because of
just
the view
one.
and
Yeah.
because of the proximity to the hype house.
Well, and if that's near Edmonds, that's like amazing space to be. Yeah.
So the tricky part of that is if you offer contingent, most normally this is how that would shake out. Is you would make a contingent offer, they accept it. Now you have 5 days to put your house on the market. And so you do that. Meanwhile, so you have all this stress of prepping your house and putting it on the market. You weren't expecting to do it this fast, but you're required by the contract to put it on in 5 days. At the same time, you do the inspection. and that might take 3 to 5 days to schedule. And then let's say that inspection doesn't go well for some reason. Well, your house is on the market. Like,
Yeah.
you just put it on, and now the inspection didn't go well, and the sellers are they're resistant to negotiating anything off inspection. So now you're in a position where the only house you want, you don't may not want it at these terms. And
Yeah.
so then if you fall out of contract on inspection, now your house is on the market, maybe you've accepted an offer, but you really don't want to move because that's the only house you wanted, right?
Yeah.
And so we've run into this a lot recently because I've been telling people now's the time to like find your move up home if you want to, or your move down home. And what I'm advising, this is our current strategy, is we schedule a pre-inspection of the home so that the inspection's done prior to us making an offer. And that way it's the client's going to be out $500, let's say,
Yeah.
but they know going into it what needs to be done. They can negotiate what repairs they want into the initial offer, and the seller then gets to determine if they want to accept a contingent offer without an inspection contingency with repairs already negotiated in the contract. And then if they accept that offer,
Real talk.
all right, so now the seller gets to review your offer, and yes, it's contingent, but it's not contingent on inspection because you've already done that. You've already included whatever concessions you would have asked for on inspection in the offer. So they get to really judge the merits of the offer right away. And then if they accept, you do have to put your house on the market right away, but you know that has a higher likelihood of success because there's not going to be any surprises on inspection. You already know you want the house. You've already checked off the biggest boxes in making sure that this will be successful. And so then you put your house on the market, you accept a buyer, smooth transaction all the way through. And that's our new method for writing contingent properties. There's a huge difference between that and finding a house, writing a contingent offer, agreeing to put your house on the market, putting your house on the market, then doing the inspection, then realizing, crap, I am agreeing to stuff I didn't want to agree to because I put myself in a situation that isn't going to yield the greatest success. So
I like
for
it.
us, this is our new method. And so and we're really marketing it too, we're calling and talking to people and saying, hey, if you've wanted to make a move, now's a great time to really take your time and find the house you want. And if you're willing to spend $500 to $1,000 and put that money at risk, then we can put you in a position that has a high success rate of getting the house you want and selling your home.
I love it. Well, and this is just, I love examples like this to give to my family and friends because I don't have my license. It's a story that I can retell with, decent accuracy. And it's just one example of how we're different from other teams and other people. Because I know there's plenty of other real estate agents out there, but there are very few who know the ins and out of a contract and the opportunities and options. And you guys are constantly educating our buyers and sellers on that. So I think it's a great example.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of people that wanted to do this, and then I'm really kind of slowing them down a little bit, just to be like, hey, the world's on pause. It's not frantic. We don't have to,
yeah.
You don't just have to jump. Let's take a measured look at this. And so that's a big part of the conversation is saying, okay, if you don't get this house or you can't get the terms you want, do you still want to sell your house? And if they say no, well, then you have to follow this strategy.
Yeah, I like it.
If they say, yeah, we want to move no matter what, then we can take more risk and we can sell their house regardless. And then I'm just asking for rent backs or additional time for them to find the house that they want.
Nice.
Speaking of nice, I like that you kept to your Friday dress up routine today.
Thank you. There's something to be said about routine, and I don't get to get dressed up like this very often, so doing it every Friday is kind of a treat. I'm like, this is good practice for dating. This is just great practice to like put on a dress, remember how to put on makeup, or in my case, like learn some new makeup strategies, because I'm not a natural like eyeshadow person, and so this is making me get into a better habit, really.
How many eyeshadow tutorials have you watched?
Actually, none right now. I just been playing around with makeup that I have, and then I'll probably go on later. And like, I learned what tight lining is. That was last year's learning lesson. Tight lining is where you put the eyeliner between the eyelashes rather than over it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is this dress? Is this from a wedding, or what is this? What's the theme?
This is an oldie but a goodie. I've had it for at least 10 years probably, and it was just a wedding guest dress, and I love it. It's actually not this shape. It just, it's supposed to tie up at the top of the neck.
Is that a halter top or no?
It's a halter top, but I actually took it and sewed it onto the back of my dress, so then I don't have to worry about it. So I've altered it myself. It's nice.
So there's no wardrobe malfunctions?
Yeah.
All right.
Right?
So handy.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you battling Corona fatigue?
Corona fatigue. It's a good question. Yesterday, last Sunday is Easter Sunday, so I decided I was ready to leave the house, like really ready to leave and do some driving. So I picked up some flowers and went and dropped them off, a bundle for my Aunt Coco, who's living in isolation right now, like not leaving her 450 square foot room. They're not even allowed to go down for dinner or anything at the assisted living place where she's at. So I left some roses outside the building because they're not even allowing people to come into the building. And then I drove some up to my friend Jared, and we talked for about a half an hour, 8 feet away. And I think tomorrow I'm probably going to do the same thing. Drive to a couple people's houses and just get out in the sunshine and walk and drive. And yeah, I hadn't been doing that yet. And I think actually that's also what prompted me to start my little photography series called Physical, Not Social Distancing. So I can drive to people's houses and see them and take a photo of them outside their house. And it's been fun. It's a fun little collection to get started.
Yeah, I like that series.
Thanks. I think it's been the image that started it was actually Amanda from our team when she stuck her hand out over the fence. But the most powerful one so far seems to be my parents. People felt really struck by that. And I didn't think there was anything special about the image. I think it's more just people's reaction to my parents, which is really cute. So, and then yesterday, I talked to you for a minute yesterday. Yesterday I was really feeling like, I think I was just feeling nauseous and sick. And I think it's a combination of the light ring and then all the screen time, because I'm definitely on the screen more. And so I've tried something new with meditation. I did a sound bath meditation, and it was like a 15-minute, and it's the sound bowls that Chelsea uses in her yoga sometimes. And it's like, I know I've always been really responsive to music, like you as well. This is, you know what, you need to try this. Like, music makes me feel so good. Well, sound bowl meditation, it's like getting a massage on your brain with the sound waves. It's legit. I fell asleep, and you know I don't take naps. I fell asleep at 2:30 in the afternoon yesterday for a good 20 minutes. It was awesome.
You're so enthusiastic when it comes to
well, when I find something that feels good, man, I will talk about it and share it, because if it could help anybody else.
Margaret's meditation is today. Today we're gonna do frog leg meditation.
Yeah. Oh, how do you beat Corona? Sound bath meditation right now. Oh God. Yeah.
Well, I think a short episode today, Margaret. Again, Corona fatigue is getting the better of me. I'm having a hard time today.
That's all right. We can come back at this next week.
And we shared a nugget. This is a nugget episode.
A nugget. Oh, I'm going to call it the nugget.
Contingent nugget.
A contingent nugget. Well, thank you for, pushing through corona fatigue for at least a few minutes to be able to share something with our listeners.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Now people are getting a little bit emotional about whether we should go back to work or not, And in Washington, I think we've been doing this a lot longer than other places, and so we're really ready for a change. And at the same time, we don't want to have done this for nothing, right?
Well, that's the other side of the coin, right? That's what I've been talking about with people is, on one hand, yes, we'd like to leave our houses and go back to work. On the other hand, do we want to go back to work and then be asked to go back into our houses later? Probably not so much. That probably would cause a lot more anxiety and anger. And so I see both sides of it. And I would personally rather push through here at the beginning than have to be back and forth. But I think you're right. I think this week people have been more emotional, more fatigued, more boredom, I guess, in general.
Yeah. So I don't know the answer. I will say that I've been pretty ardent about people staying home, even about real estate agents staying home.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not happy with some agents that are proudly spreading their...
Well, no, and you saw the email that came out yesterday or the day before from the Northwest MLS saying, hey guys, here are the rules again. Remember, you need to abide by them. So I think it's pretty obvious that some people have not been abiding.
The term "the dude abides"?
No.
No? A bunch of listeners will know. And
it's called A Dude Abides?
No, The Dude Abides.
The Dude Abides.
From the Big Lebowski.
Okay.
The Big Lebowski is this cult film that the Coen brothers did.
Yeah.
The Coen brothers from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And,
oh, yeah.
Trying to think of their Fargo. They did Fargo. Anyway, they did this really trippy psychedelic one called The Big Lebowski. That probably has more F words in it than any other movie ever made.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit, and it's trippy, man. There's this whole psychedelic trip in the middle of the movie. So, but the Big Lebowski is the dude, and the dude abides. And I just decided to tell you that. So this is nonsense, okay? This is Corona fatigue. That's what it looks like, everyone. All right? I mean,
this is no life.
You know how I would have little threads that you guys that I would pull on? I have these thought threads that people in conversation will say something which will make me think of a song or a movie clip or something.
Yeah.
And it's usually light and lovely and distractingly weird, right? Part of my behavior. And this time it just sounds like I'm a crazy person trapped in my house talking to myself about the dude abiding.
I like it.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. My helmet hair. My hair is so long. Have you ever seen it long?
No, you're very particular about keeping it nice and short.
I told Jill, maybe it'll be long like Chris D'Elia's hair, like Jesus' hair. But great. And she gave me a look as if to say, please don't. She didn't threaten me by leaving, she didn't threaten to leave, but it was there. It was there.
Don't go there. Don't do that.
Yeah. She doesn't like facial hair either, so I'm pretty good about shaving every day.
Oh, none at all?
Well, no, I am in general, but I'm like, hey, maybe I should ease up in this time of Corona, right? Maybe I won't have razors, and I need to use
My dad's the same way. He'll let his beard grow out, and we're all like, don't do it.
I haven't heard of Daniel or seen him. Is he around?
My roommate Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that. So that was my dad I was talking about. Who won't? He's
sorry.
like, we'll take a break on shaving. Daniel, on the other hand, has let all of the hair grow out, so he's going for a ponytail look.
Man bun, sure. I can
He's
see that.
almost there, and he's got the full-on beard. It's a lot happening. But you know, he's got.
I think I could do a top pony.
Yeah, you guys are probably pretty close in comparison. I mean, his is now down around his ears, so he's really worked on it for a while.
I'm gonna have to send Kevin Kaufman an update today.
Absolutely, yeah, he needs
And, you want to make a face? I'll do a screen grab right now, so that.
Oh yeah, make a face at him.
All right. I'll send that to him.
Perfect. I like it.
Oh, Margaret, tell me this is all gonna end soon.
It is all gonna end soon. It really
One way or another.
One way or another, something's gonna happen, and it will end. Yeah.
There's this comedian, Nate Bargatze. I told you. Did you watch him like I told you to?
I need to.
And that's your assignment today. Okay.
Okay. Write it down.
Stand
I
ups.
really like when I get
Do
assignments.
it during work hours. Okay. Stand ups. Netflix. The stand ups. Season 1, episode 1.
Okay.
Nate Bargatze, the comedian. He has this joke where he gets on a plane and the pilot, takes over the intercom and goes, well, folks, this welcome to flight 582. This is my last flight. And his joke is what? Like, you couldn't tell us when we landed? Like, we're this, we need to worry about this the whole flight? Like, either way, this is my last flight. Anyway.
Okay. That actually sounds like I would be a good laugh.
Oh, and he has a bit about hammocks. That's very good, too.
Ooh. It's about time to break out our hammocks, too.
Yeah. I know. I think after this, I'm going to play Rummikub with my kids or cornhole with the kids.
Nice. And you should really break out your hammock. I forgot you should do some hammock time.
Yeah, it's not the same. I do have a hammock, but it's on a frame. It's cool, but it is almost hammock time. But that one hammock, you're going to laugh at that hammock bit because how cool was it when I had a place that had like 2 perfectly positioned trees?
I know. It was pretty naturally cool.
Every day I get home from work and I'd go lay in the hammock for like 15 minutes.
It's very relaxing.
Kind of miss that house sometimes.
Yeah.
And that deck I
It was a
built.
cool house. Yeah.
We should spin the Corona wheel like next time. Like create a Corona wheel.
Don't suggest it because I really will.
No,
I think
like
that's hilarious. Like a little wheel that we could spin the topic on.
yeah. We're gonna go.
Yeah.
We're gonna spin the Corona wheel.
I'm gonna ask my mom how to make it, and then I'll ask you for what topics we should put on it.
Perfect. And then
we could spin the wheel for listeners as they're watching.
right.
I like it.
There should be like an Instagram reading should be on there. A Manners with Margaret should be on there. Margaret's dating life should be on there.
Oh, good.
Ranch story from Jesse should be on there. Just a few ideas.
I like it. I'll work on that. Tell me my project.
Oh, and there should be like drink a shot should be on there.
Oh, God. Cool.
I think that'd be
I like
fun.
that. That'd be hilarious. I like that a lot. All right. Well, next week we'll check in on the corona fatigue and we'll see how we're doing.
Yeah, it's real life, everyone. Okay, like I'm not good at pretending. I think people appreciate that, so that when I show up, it's authentic. And today is hard. And it's weird. It's not like a dire situation kind of hard. It's like a oppressive boredom kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying. I wrote 6 handwritten cards today. I don't have stamps, but I will figure that out.
I have some
And,
stamps for you if you need them.
Drinking water when Margaret's drinking rosé, because I'm committed to helping myself feel better in some way, shape, or form.
Good.
So, thanks, Mom.
Thank you. Until next week.